Hey everyone, welcome back to House Always Eats with me, as always, Chef Adam. So lately I've been on a big pasta kick, and not that store-bought box of pasta that you can get anywhere. No, I'm talking about homemade pasta right here made on this table. Just the other day, I made a very bright green parsley pappardelle that came out muy bueno, but I do have the equipment myself to do it with a pasta roller attachment for my beautiful KitchenAid that some of you may have seen in the last episode. But this week, you don't need any equipment except for what you already have in your house, which is your stovetop and your oven. So don't get intimidated when I say this. This week, we're making potato gnocchi.
It's gnocchi.
I hear some people say that they're afraid to make this or that it's complicated. I assure you, it's not at all. It's actually very easy and made with very few ingredients. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ingredients, and that's it. Making the gnocchi dough is the easy part. The hard part is shaping the dough. But if you can roll a worm-like shape out of Play-Doh, you can shape gnocchi. It's that easy. So, like I said, only 5 ingredients. We got flour, 2 potatoes.
That's Mr. Potato Head to you.
Salt, 1 egg yolk, and a little bit of turmeric just for color. Let's get cracking, because this is going to take some time to cook. First thing you're going to need to do is cook off your potato. Before you do that, you're going to want to take a fork and poke a bunch of holes in your potatoes. That way you can ventilate your potato and it will cook faster. Now we're going to put this in our oven at 400 degrees for about 40 to 45 minutes, or until you check your potatoes and they're completely cooked through. Let's go put it in the oven. Now our potatoes are finished. They're very hot right out of the oven. You can do this a couple ways, but I've worked in the kitchen for quite some time, so I'm used to hot things in my hands. Hot potato, hot potato, hot potato. Okay, that's too hot. So, if it is too hot, that's why they invented oven mitts. So, hot potato in the oven mitt, we're gonna cut it right in half. You want to do this while it's still hot. 1/2 potato. Oh, and another hot potato. Cut them in half. Now those are half. We're gonna gut them.
I'll gut you like a fish.
Yes, this is still hot, but I don't really care. So we take your fork that we used to poke earlier, and we're gonna scrape all the insides out from the skin. Make sure you don't get any of the skin in there, and just put it right back onto your hot pan. There it all goes. Now that we have all the insides of the potato on the pan, we're left with our skins. You can save these and use them later, maybe even make fried potato skins. Sounds delicious. Maybe I'll make it on my next episode. Maybe I won't. Alright, so next thing, you're going to want all these to be very, very smooth, just like mashed potato. You can do this a few ways. You can use your fork and smash it as much as possible. You can use a ricer if you have one of those, but not a lot of people have a ricer in their house. So, fork mash all your potato so everything is very, very smooth. This might take a little bit of time. I'll let you know when I'm done. Now the potato is mashed. You can keep doing this on your pan, but I have a butcher's block and I really enjoy using it. So I'm going to transfer this onto my butcher's block. So now you have your potato here. We're going to add the flour and all the other ingredients. So with 2 potatoes, you're going to need 1 cup of flour. So we're going to slowly add our flour into our potato. And we're going to keep mixing around a little bit and get it all in there. Also, for our binder, we're gonna need our egg yolk. So make a small well, put it right in the middle. Add your pinch of salt and a very small dash of your turmeric. You can use as much turmeric as you wish. It's just going to make it more yellow. Also, if you're using your hands, turmeric will 100% stain your hands. It's gonna take some time to wash off, but it will eventually come off. So let's get dirty. Pretty dough. So now we just keep kneading this dough and knead it until everything is all incorporated in there. All your flour, all your nice starch, your salt, your turmeric, your egg yolk. Get it all in the dough. Make sure it's nice and smooth. This is always the fun part. It's like playing with Play-Doh, like being a kid all over again. Now that's all incorporated, we have our dough ball. We're just gonna round it out a little bit. Make sure all the cracks are out of it, you don't see any. Just make sure it's nice and smooth. Now we have a very, very nice yellow gnocchi dough ball. Now that your dough ball is made, you're gonna wanna wrap it in plastic wrap and put it in your fridge for about 20 minutes. Just let it sit so it's not at room temp. So into the fridge. All right, 20 minutes later, here's our dough. Now you can keep it in the fridge overnight if you want. If you want to make the dough ahead of time for a dinner that we're gonna have tomorrow. But for now, we're ready to make this. So let's shape our dough. First, we're gonna put some flour down on our board. Cover your dough in a little bit of flour. Then we're gonna take our bench scraper and cut it into some pieces.
Cut my life into pieces.
1, 2, 3, 4, which gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just a little bit over, roll them, roll with one hand, and roll again. Now we're gonna do these one at a time. So set the other 4 to the side. Now this already has some flour on it, and it's already in a little bit of cylinder shape after rolling it in the flour. We're just gonna continue to roll it. So you're gonna take your palm right onto the dough, and you're gonna roll it right up your hand, firmly come back with your fingers. So roll, roll, roll. As you do that, you're gonna see that the shape, the cylinder is going to spread out. It's already doing it right now. So once it goes past your hand, you're gonna start using both. So you're gonna wanna roll your hands out to even out the sides of the cylinder shape. And this can be any shape that you want. You're the one making this up. That's the fun part about gnocchi. You can make it any size, any shape that you wish. You don't have to follow some person's recipe. You don't have to do it verbatim of what they're doing. If you want big pieces of gnocchi, you can make big pieces of gnocchi. They gotta take a little longer to cook, but it still works. So this size right here is pretty good for me. I'd say it's probably about a ½ inch around. So we're gonna continue with the rest of these. So let's watch again. Roll it out, and it just starts spreading. So once you get there, right from the middle, just keep rolling. And it will automatically just spread out. Spread your fingers out a little bit, and push out. That easy. It really is. Like I said, if you can play with Play-Doh, you can make gnocchi. It's the exact same thing, a little more fragile, and also, this one you can really eat. Now that all those are rolled out, you're probably saying to me, well, my lady says to me all the time, you make that look easy. I assure you, it is this easy. But we're gonna cut them into pieces. This is also the easy part. So we have all 5 cylinders right here lined up. Now we're gonna go right down the line and cut individually. Now those are done, you're gonna take a little bit of your flour and just sprinkle them over and separate them so they all get floured on. Now some people usually give you a next step, and that is to roll them. You can take the back of your fork, or you can take an actual gnocchi roller and roll them so they get ridges on them. The only thing this is good for is to keep the sauce intact and connected to your gnocchi while you're eating it. But I don't need to do it that way because the recipe that we're making tonight doesn't require any sauce or sticking to any of the pasta. So we're just gonna keep them nice plain Jane. Now your gnocchi are all floured. We're gonna transfer them to a pan because now it's time to cook them. Now for the hands-on part. You might not be able to see me, but you can certainly see me cooking. First thing you need to set up, get your water boiling, and a pan with a little bit of oil in it, but don't turn it on. Gnocchis from your pan, a little bit at a time, into your boiling pot. 1, 2, in there. Now these are going to take a little bit of time to boil. You'll know when they're getting close and they start to float to the top, and as one of my chefs used to say, just let them do their little dance.
Dance off, bro.
Let them dance around the pot for a little bit. When they're risen to the top, just let them float there for just under a minute, and then we can take them out. As we're waiting for these to float,
You'll float too.
I will mention, make sure that as always with any pasta, your water is full of olive oil and salt. As you can see, some of them are starting to float to the top already. It is that quick, but they're not done yet when they just start floating. You want them, as I said, to do the little dance. Make a little love, get down tonight. Now that some of these have risen to the top and they've danced, we're gonna take them out, put them in our pan that has oil. Now make sure all these gnocchi are covered in oil and ready to be cooled down. As you're doing that, we're going to proceed in doing the exact same thing with the rest of our gnocchis. Since we don't have much here, they're all going in. Now the rest of them have been cooked off and transferred to this pan, covered in oil. Guess what? That's it. For real, folks, that is it. That is all you need to make gnocchi. Your gnocchi is done right here. All in pieces, all cooked off, ready to go. It's ready to eat right now. There's not a whole lot of flavor to it. The flavor is going to come with the dish that you mix with it. Go look up a recipe for gnocchi online. They're absolutely everywhere. But I figured I'd show you my way because I figured it's a pretty easy way than listening to certain steps of things that you don't necessarily need to do to get the right gnocchi that you want. The dish I'm going to be making involves green apples, some sausage, and a little bit of brown butter that I made earlier. I hope this was informative. I hope you know how to make gnocchi now. I hope it's easy for you. It might take you some practice because you might not be a child anymore or remember how to play with Play-Doh. But I play with Play-Doh all the time. Just kidding. I play with actual dough. It's still just as fun. So go play in your kitchen. Make gnocchi. Even do it with your kids. It's fun as hell. I know I'll do it with mine when he's old enough. Hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. Gnocchi. Go eat it.